Hi everybody, this is Boogass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the brand new Neca Walmart exclusive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie Tatsu figure. So before we take a look at Tatsu, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the numerous accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with a set of fisted hands. Up next, he comes with his karate/slapping hands. Up next, he comes with an alternate right accessory holding hand for holding the fan, and he really can't hold the closed fan. If you have him holding it the way he's supposed to, it's too loose and just falls out of his hand. But he can hold the open one very well in his hand. Up next, he comes with the open fan, and this looks fantastic. It has some nice texturing to it. It has some really good paint detail. The white lines came out very crisp, and he can hold it very well. It's a very thin accessory, but he holds it very well in his hand. Up next, he comes with accessory holding hands for the rest of his accessories. Up next, Tatsu comes with the crumpled up foot mask, and this looks really good. The way it's wrinkled looks very realistic. You get some gray paint over top of the wrinkles, as well as the texturing there for the eyes. That looks fantastic. Up next, he comes with the training sword, and this has some fantastic sculpt detail to it. The white and red paint came out really clean, and it's hard to tell, but this has some texturing. Maybe you can see there in my shadow, you can see the texturing down through here. That looks really good. I was really surprised at the amount of sculpt and paint detail to this. This looks really good. Up next, he comes with his sword, and the silver on this really stands out. It's a very nice shimmery silver color. The wrapping to the handle is textured very nicely, and the sheath looks equally as good. You can see it has real ties right here, real fabric ties, and I think that looks really good. The texturing to the wrapping looks very nice. You get a bit of a wash to it. That looks fantastic. Neca just did a very awesome job on this. Just all of the subtle texturing to it, that looks really good. Of course, the sword fits in the sheath very nicely. That's actually a really cool pose to have Tatsu in. That looks really cool like that. Up next, he comes with this Oni mask, and this is fantastic looking. The glossy red and the black detailing over top of it looks really good. The gold for the horns and the teeth there, that looks spectacular. And this is actually a nod to his mask that he had in the 2012 Ninja Turtles cartoon. I think it's very awesome that Neca included this as an accessory with him. I want to say the mask might have been silver in that cartoon, but I think the red is a lot more effective. That looks fantastic, and it fits on him really nicely. The only downside, though, is it left a red scuff on mine's face. You've probably noticed this throughout the beginning of this review, and that bothers me so bad because he didn't have this red mark till I tried to put that mask on. The mask does fit on him very snug, but it's a little too snug, and yeah, it left that awful red smudge right there. I did try taking it off with some water and then a little bit of rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip, and that still didn't work. So yeah, unfortunately this head sculpt is just going to be scuffed because of this. So definitely be careful when you're putting this mask on. And finally, he comes with this alternate angrier head sculpt. And I think this looks really good. I've seen a bunch of people saying that this wasn't a good likeness of Toshihiro Obata, but I think it's really good. Having it in hand, I think it's actually a fantastic likeness of him. I will say I do think they should have printed the shaved head on, maybe textured it a little bit. Well, actually, if they would have printed on, it almost would have looked textured because it would have been pixelated. But they used solid paint. That's not a huge gripe, but I do think printing that on would have looked a lot better. But yeah, I think both of these head sculpts look really good. I think this one in particular looks a lot more like him. It is a little bit darker though. You can see the skin tone is just slightly darker. But yeah, I think these head sculpts look very good. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the figure. So Neca actually gave Tatsu some soft goods, and I think they look fantastic. The shirt looks really good, just the way it drapes on the figure looks fantastic. The pattern looks very good, the stitch work is very nice. You do get this plastic piece over top of it, and I'm not sure what you'd call this, but it does look really good. It's textured very nicely. I think it's cast in gray and has black paint over top of it with some silver over here, and then red on the back. But yeah, that looks very nice. All of the textures and the paint detail on this came out very clean. That looks really good. You also get this elastic down here that's around the waistband. I believe the upper torso of this figure is brand new. I almost thought that this torso piece was from the Shadow Warriors, but you do get brand new single jointed arms. So yeah, I'm not sure if the chest is reused, but I do know that the arms are brand new. looking underneath his pants right here, you can see that he does reuse the foot body mold, and that really doesn't bother me. You're not really going to be seeing it. But yeah, it's textured and sculpted really nicely underneath here. And just like with the soft goods shirt, the pants look very nice. The way they lay on the figure look really good. The pattern looks right. It's a shimmery kind of material. It just looks really good, and it doesn't really hinder the articulation of the figure. So yeah, I'm so happy that Neca chose to do soft goods for this figure, because I honestly don't think plastic would have done the figure justice. You get some really good articulation out of him despite having this on. So now let's go ahead and go over that. So he has a ball-jointed head that can look up all the way. He can look down just a little bit. He can move his head side to side and all the way around. His shoulders can move out all the way. He has single-jointed elbows that can bend in a pretty far amount. I was actually surprised how far they can bend in. He has swiveled wrists that can move side to side and up and down very nicely. He does have a ball-jointed diaphragm, and I'm not sure if there's a ball-jointed waist underneath there, but he can move back just a little bit and forward just a little bit. You do get some nice side-to-side movement there, and you can move it all the way around. He has hips, which you're going to have to move the pants so you don't rip them. They can move out that far. Now, on this left side, the hip sounds terrible. So I'm really scared to move that around too much, because it sounds like it's just going to snap right off. I'm honestly not sure how to get the pants and this off to maybe boil him and shave that peg down. That way it's not such a tight fit. That is the only real big complaint I have with this figure. You can move it, but it's terrible noise when you do. And now it's not even wanting to move up. So yeah, I don't know if it's like that on all of them, but this left hip is terrible. On this right side, it moves back and forth. It's kind of a squeaky joint, but it's not so tight like this one. So he can kick forward just about all the way. He can kick back just a little bit. He has a little bit of a thigh swivel, double jointed knees that can move all the way back, and swivel ankles that can move down all the way, up all the way, and a nice ankle rocker. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to Shredder from Secret of the Ooze. Here he is next to the Foot Soldiers. Here he is next to Raphael and Leonardo. Here he is next to Michelangelo and Donatello. Here he is next to Splinter. Here he is next to Danny. Here he is next to April. Here he is next to Casey. Here he is next to Kino. Here he is next to Razar. And finally, here he is next to Toka. So overall, I think this is a spectacular release from Neca. This might just be one of my favorite turtle movie figures ever made. I think Neca did a fantastic job on it. The only thing that sucks is it's a Walmart exclusive, and it's really hard to find right now. These are only 2 per store, so it's pretty tricky to find it. The Walmart app isn't even saying that they have these. When I went to Walmart today, it said that there was no stock at all, and there was one on the shelf. So yeah, you can't even trust the app if you're trying to find one. That my best advice is just to go every day and look like I've been doing. So hopefully you're able to find this one, because Neca did a really awesome job on it, and they really did Tatsu justice. We've wanted a figure of him forever, and they absolutely delivered on it. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.